The talks are the first of their kind since the nation's leaders agreed to establish a free, fair, and reciprocal trade deal in April. Well, both countries said they better understood each other's position after discussions on Thursday and wanted to achieve quick results. Our correspondent, Giles Gibson in Washington, has more.
Japan's economy minister and the U.S. trade representative met here in Washington for over 2 hours, but both sides are very much keeping their cards close to their chest in terms of what was actually discussed during that meeting. The Japanese side have said that there was a frank exchange of views and that both sides deepened their understanding of each other's positions. We heard very similar things from the Americans as well. They said that there'd been a thorough and constructive exchange of views. Really, the one thing that was publicly agreed on was that the two sides would go into a second day of talks taking place on Friday local time here in the U.S. Capitol. Meanwhile, the big issue that's hanging over these talks and these negotiations is that the two sides are on completely opposing positions. The Americans are understood to be pushing for a bilateral trade deal between the Americans and Japan, whereas the Japanese are understood to be pushing for a multilateral framework, similar to the Trans-Pacific Partnership or the TPP trade deal. Now, we all know that Donald Trump pulled the United States out of the TPP after he took office, and that he is not a fan of multilateral trade deals at all. There's one other aspect that's hanging over these negotiations, and that's the midterm elections coming up here in the United States in November. Now, those midterm elections, we understand that the Trump administration, really, they are looking to look tough on trade. They are looking to be aggressive on trade, because that's exactly what Donald Trump promised as a candidate during the 2016 presidential election. Giles Gibson, CGTN, Washington.